Deep Stone Crypt has 3 augments that are used throughout the raid: Scanner, Operator, and Suppressor. This guide will show you what the Operator augment is required for and how to use it throughout the entire raid. The first time you see the Operator augment is in the security encounter. The main job of Operator is to shoot the keypads in the basement that Scanner calls out. There are 5 pads on light side and 5 on dark side. We label them 1 to 5, starting from the stairwell going to the basement, but feel free to pick an orientation that works for you. You can label them L1 to 5 and R1 to 5, or dark 1 to 5 and light 1 to 5. This really comes down to preference with your team, and all that matters is that the whole team is on the same page. Let's walk through the locations of the pads in the basement on light side and dark side. On light side we have light 1, light 2, light 3, and light 4 and 5. On dark side we have dark 4 and 5, dark 3, dark 2, and dark 1. There will always be 2 pads to shoot on each side. Alright, let's go through the encounter. The Operator augment will be in the terminals at the start of the encounter and can be picked up from either light side or dark side. In this video, we are going to be picking up Operator on dark side and letting Scanner through the doors at the back so that we only have 1 scanner for the encounter. Grabbing the Operator augment from the terminal will start the encounter. When your team is ready, grab Operator. Now you're going to help clear enemies upstairs until your scanner has checked all the pads on dark side and let you know what you need to shoot downstairs. Your scanner is going to follow you to the back side of the room to go to light side. Shoot the pads to open the doors and let Scanner through. Then shoot the pads to head downstairs. Once downstairs, shoot the pads the Scanner called out on dark side and wait for the light side pad callouts. Shoot the light side pads that Scanner calls out. After the 4 pads have been shot, you will need to send the Operator augment upstairs through the terminal. If you are trying to pass Operator and getting the message augment unavailable, that means a servitor is alive somewhere that is blocking your ability to use the terminal. A teammate will need to kill the servitor to allow the terminal to be used. Your team is going to send the Scanner augment down through the terminal. Pick it up and use it to see what fuses need to be damaged. They are labeled dark left, dark middle, and dark right, and light left, light middle, and light right. The ones lit up are the ones that need to be shot. If your team has enough DPS, then you'll complete the encounter there and move on. If not, the Scanner augment will need to be sent back upstairs and the process repeated. If you don't complete the encounter on the first DPS phase, you must exit the basement or the fire will activate downstairs and you will die a fiery death. To exit, the person who has the Operator buff upstairs must open the doors where you go downstairs to let you out. Here you have 2 choices. Either the person that has Operator now goes downstairs and does the Operator job, or you can quickly swap augments at an upstairs terminal and have the original Operator go back downstairs to shoot the second set of pads and call out the fuses to be damaged. Next, let's check out Atrax. For the Atrax encounter, Operator is responsible for dealing with the Atrax 1 Replication Debuffs that Atrax drops when he is damaged. The Operator augment will spawn on a Vandal downstairs. This can happen on left side, right side, or in the middle of the room. We always leave the person who is going to be Operator downstairs to find the Vandal, pick up the Operator augment, and then head upstairs. This way, you don't have to wait until all the servitors are dead before you can transfer Operator. Once you get upstairs, we recommend immediately shooting the pads to send all the pods downstairs. This is important for later in the encounter, but it makes sense to do it right away so that you don't forget. As Operator, you will be responsible for keeping ads clear and damaging Atrax upstairs, as well as helping people refresh and get rid of their Atrax replication debuffs. Let's talk about the replication debuffs. A replication debuff is dropped every time your team damages and stuns a version of Atrax. Your teammates will be responsible for picking up the debuffs upstairs and downstairs and meeting with you to send the debuffs into space through an airlock. The debuff has a timer of 40 seconds, and if that timer runs out, it causes a team wipe. As operator, you can refresh the debuff timer by shooting it off someone so they can pick it back up. There are 4 rooms upstairs that can be used to send the Atrax debuffs into space. We call them upstairs left and right, and downstairs left and right. They also have a cooldown between uses that is independent of the damage cycles, so if you use upstairs right for the last replication, it will most likely still be on cooldown for the beginning of the next damage cycle. Each cycle is 1 round of servitors and 4 extinction protocols from Atrax. If you accidentally end up with the replication debuff, you can put the operator augment into a terminal and have someone else help you expel it into space, or you can shoot it off yourself with a gun that has ricochet rounds. Once Atrax has been damaged, a teammate will pick up the debuff and you will tell them what door you want them to use. Shoot the keypad to open the door. These doors can be opened at any time, as the rooms are not activated until someone enters them. Once your teammate is inside the room, shoot the debuff off their head and have them run out of the room. The doors will close and the debuff will be sent into space. Remember that you'll have teammates coming upstairs with debuffs that will likely need to be refreshed when they get upstairs. Make sure to listen for callouts. Continue damaging Atrax and clearing debuffs until the final stand phase. During the final stand phase, everyone needs to go upstairs to damage Atrax. The set of 4 Atraxes from downstairs come upstairs, totaling 8. Atrax will perform his white mechanic in sets of 4, and the second set follows very quickly. So if you can't one-phase the last stand, be prepared to look for the next set. You don't need to clear any debuffs during the final stand phase, as long as you make sure to refresh any outstanding buffs before it starts. Now, let's talk about the descent encounter. The operator augment can spawn on the left side, right side, or the middle of the room. In this encounter, operator is responsible for shooting keypads that will stop an extra nuclear core from spawning. There are 4 spawn locations for the nuclear cores and 4 corresponding keypads that can be shot. You'll need to shoot one of the 4 keypads that is glowing red each phase. You really only need to make sure you can see 2 keypads when the alarm sounds and nuclear cores begin charging up. One or both of the 2 you can see will glow red, and as long as you shoot a glowy one, you're all good. If you do your job correctly, there will be 2 cores to deposit each phase. These cores need to be picked up before the timer runs out, or it causes a team wipe. There's also a radiation debuff that goes up as you're holding the cores. If it hits 10, you will die and drop the core. Once picked up, the cores must be deposited into 2 of the 4 boxes at the front of the room. Scanner can see what boxes they need to go into and must call it out to your team. Here's our callouts for this encounter. There is one new mechanic introduced into this encounter that is important, Suppressor. This is used to stun the boss and allow the cores to be deposited. After the boss is suppressed, one of the 3 augments will be deactivated, meaning the person who was using the augment cannot use it for a period of time. The debuff looks like this. The deactivated augment must be put into the terminal for someone else to grab. We have done this encounter where everyone has a partner they switch with, and in more experienced groups where anyone can pick up any augment and complete the mechanic. There are quite a few rounds of nuclear cores for this encounter, so it's likely that operator will get deactivated at least once. Rinse and repeat until it's time to jump into the hole. Operator has a brand new job at Taniks. Operator will be responsible for shooting big purple orbs that encase teammates while they are moving cores. The operator augment always spawns in this section of the room. As operator, you will not pick up nuclear cores, but you will help drop the cores from Taniks. To get the cores, you'll need to shoot Taniks' engines until the cores drop. You can drop either 2 nuclear cores or all 4 at one time. If you're learning, we suggest dropping 2 cores and having people team up to deliver the cores to the right boxes. Your scanner can see what boxes the cores need to be delivered to. These are the callouts we use for this encounter. When your teammates are delivering the cores, Taniks will randomly encase them in a purple orb. You must shoot the actual circles on the orb to release them. This must be done quickly because of the radiation debuff. It is recommended to stun Taniks after 2 encasements to avoid your operator becoming deactivated while someone is encased. In this encounter, the operator augment can also get deactivated after Taniks is suppressed, so make sure to check your buff after each phase. If you are deactivated, you will be responsible for helping to deliver cores. After the cores are deposited, it's time to damage Taniks. Be careful not to get hit with the debris flying around Taniks. You'll get 2 damage opportunities if you deposited 2 cores, or 3 if you deposited 4. Rinse and repeat until you beat Taniks. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe.